Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to witness this by-district playoff game with heavy hearts by honoring the life and legacy of Coach Troy Langfield, a remarkable individual whose presence shaped not only teams but entire lives. Coach Langfield was more than a coach. He was a mentor, a leader, and a steady presence who brought out the best in those around him. His passion for excellence, his commitment to character, and his deep care for every student, athlete, and colleague were evident in all that he did. Coach Langfield led with integrity, inspired through action, and taught many not just how to play the game, but how to live with purpose, resilience, and compassion. The impact he made will be felt for generations. Though our community mourns this profound loss, we also celebrate a life that uplifted so many. May we honor Coach Langfield not only in our words today, but in the way we continue to lead, support, and care for one another. On behalf of all who were privileged to know him, thank you, Coach. Your legacy lives on in each one of your past and present students. And as Coach Langfield would always say, we are the Hennes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome as we are here live from Kennedy, Texas at Joe Gulley Park for today's by-district baseball game between the Lasara Lions and your Hennes Cowboys. Live here on the Hennes Athletics on Facebook and also on YouTube. And we're fixing to have the introduction of both teams, so we're going to listen in live.
Kennedy, Texas for tonight's two-game doubleheader with Lasara and the Hennes. Introducing your visiting team, Lasara. Number 8, the center fielder, Jason Mendo. Number 13, Marco Orinales, shortstop. Number 10, Alex Valles, the third baseman. Number 11, Abraham Castillo, the catcher. Number 14, John Carlos Rodriguez, the pitcher. Number 9, Manliu Samez, first base. Number 17, Joaquin Hernandez. Also the DH, number 6, Aiden Rodriguez, playing right field. Number 12, Victor Villarreal. Number 5, Roland Guerra, the second baseman. Your sub, number 1, Aaron Garces. Number 16, Miguel Aguilar. Number 15, Edom Rodriguez. Number 18, Brandon Cantu. Number 2, Ernesto Hugo Rubias. Number 3, Gavino Gutierrez. Number 4, Jesse Hernandez. And number 7, Daniel Contreras. your hats and caps and all rise for a national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to get things started here, the Hennis is the designated home team for game number one. The Lasara Lions are the visiting team for game number one. And setting the defense for your Hennis Cowboys, getting the start on the mound today, is number 32, Easton King. Behind the plate, number 1, Joe Ruiz. At third base, Case Braden. At shortstop, number 21, Kate Henry. At second base, number 2, Josiah Rodriguez. At first base, number 9, Brent Frosch. And in the outfield from left to right, Aaron Chapman, Jackson Cross, and Ethan Moots. Once again, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in here live on the Hennis Athletics on Facebook and also on YouTube today. This is game 1 of 2 between the Cowboys and the Lions. Game 2 will be 30 minutes after game number 1. And if necessary, game 3 will be played tomorrow, Saturday at 2 p.m. All games are here at Joe Gulley Park here in Kennedy, Texas. And the top 3 batters for the Lasara Lions. Leading off will be the center fielder, number 8, Jason Mendel. Followed by the shortstop, number 13, Marco Ornelas. And the third baseman, number 10, Alex Valles. Once again, leading the inning off for the Lions will be the center fielder, number 8, Jason Mendel. Easton King getting the start on the mound, and Joe Ruiz behind the plate. Braden, Henry, Rodriguez, and Frost in the infield. The outfield, Aaron Chapman, Jackson Cross, and Ethan Moots.
Leading off for Lasara, number 8, Jason Mendel, the center fielder.
First pitch from King is off the glove of Ruiz. Will be ball 1, so 1 ball, no strikes on Mendel. Pitch is in there for strike one, so 1-1 the count on Mendel. Once again, Easton King is on the mound for the Cowboys. The pitch, swing and a miss for strike two. The pitch from King, fouled down the right first base line, and it's going to make its way out of play. So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mendel. Swing and a miss for strike three and out number one. And that is the first strikeout for King today. And up next is the shortstop, number 13, Marco Ornelas. First pitch is high for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes on Ornelas. In there for strike one, so 1-1 the count with 1 out here in the top of the first. Marco Ornelas at the plate, Easton King on the mound, Joe Ruiz behind the plate. That pitch was just a bit inside for ball two.
2 balls, 1 strike.
And they're going to say that he did not go. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Ornelas. Outside for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike on the batter. Ball's hit, fielded by Frosch at first, and Frosch will step on the bag himself for out number 2. And up next is the third baseman, number 10, Alex Valles. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Valles. Pitch is high for ball 1, so 1-1 the count.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That ball is fouled back into the fence. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Alex Valles. Pitch just missed. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first on Alex Valles. The 2-2 pitch. In there for a call of strike 3 as we head to the bottom of the first scoreless. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We're going to turn the sound off in between the innings just in case we get cut off for music. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Setting the defense for the Lasara Lions, getting the start on the mound is number 14, Giancarlo Rodriguez. Behind the plate, number 12, Abraham Castillo. At third base, number 10, Alex Valles. At shortstop, number 13, Marco Ornelas. At second base, Roland Guerra. At first base, number 9, Matthew Tames. And in the outfield from left to right, number 12, Victor Vidal. Number 8, center field, number 8, Jason Mendel. And in right field, number 6, Aiden Rodriguez. And leading the inning off for your D'Hanis Cowboys is the shortstop, number 21, Cade Henry. So once again, the shortstop, number 21, Cade Henry, to lead the inning off for the Cowboys. And Giancarlo Rodriguez on the mound for the Lions. First pitch coming up from Rodriguez. Henry lays down a bunt down the third base line. Fielded by Rodriguez, fires it over to first. Off the bag, Henry will advance to second. And he's going to get held up at second. So a leadoff bunt by Cade Henry. And an error. And Henry is standing on second base. And up next is the pitcher, number 32, Easton King. Henry on second. First pitch is low for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes on King. Pitch is outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on King with Henry on second. And pickoff attempt, no throw to second. So 2 balls and no strikes on King. The pitch, high for ball 3. So 3-0 the count. Pitch is in there for strike 1. And on the pass ball, Henry would advance to third. So 3 balls and 1 strike on King. The pitch, high for ball 4. So the Cowboys will have runners now on the corners. And up next is the first baseman, number 9, Brent Frosch. And checking in the courtesy run at first base is number 11, Cannon Zachary for King. So Henry now in third, Zachary on first, and Brent Frosch at the plate. First pitch is outside for ball 1, and Zachary will advance to second on the steal. Runners now on second and third. Pitch is outside for ball 2. The pitch, Frost swings and pops it up. And the ball is being carried by the wind around the shortstop, and he misjudged it. And Henry will come in and score. And up next is the left fielder, number 18, Aaron Chapman.
Brings up number 18, Kate Chapman, the left fielder. Runners on first and second.
First pitch is in there for strike 1.
Corner, strike 1.
So no balls and 1 strike on Chapman with Zachary on second, Frosch on first. Pitch is low for ball 1, so 1-1 to count.
One ball, 1 strike.
The pitch from Rodriguez. Chapman swings and fouls it back into the fence. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ball is low, so 2-2 the count on Chapman. So 2 balls, 2 strikes with runners on first and second. Rodriguez, the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3 and out number 1. And up next is the third baseman, number 7, Case Braden.
Bring up number 7, Kay Braden, third baseman.
And Braden swings and fouls that one out of play. So no balls and 1 strike on Case Braden.
One strike.
Ball was low, so 1 ball, 1 strike on Braden.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Pitch is low for ball 2.
Ball 2.
So 2-1 the count on Braden. The pitch from Rodriguez. Inside for ball 3.
Inside pitch, ball 3.
And Braden hits it. Fielded by the shortstop, Ornelas fires it over to second. Zachary will be safe at home. And up next is the catcher, number 1, Joe Ruiz.
Bring up number 1, Jay Luis, the catcher, with a runner on first.
Braden makes his way to second on the steal.
And runner steals second base.
So 1 ball, no strikes on Ruiz. With Braden on second now. And that will be fouled off. Ruiz brings the count to 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Pitch is in there just outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And Ruiz sends a shot to right field. And Braden being waved in. There'll be an RBI single for Joe Ruiz. And the Cowboys now lead 3-0 with the second baseman, number 2, Josiah Rodriguez, coming in. And checking in the courtesy run now at first base is number 12, Bino Gonzalez for Joe Ruiz.
Courtesy runner number 12, Gonzalez. Brings up number 2, Jay Rodriguez, the second baseman for the A's.
First pitch from Rodriguez. And Josiah hits it. Bobbled by the first baseman. And Josiah will beat out the throw. And he's going to be safe at first. Gonzalez advancing to third. Ball's thrown over to third. And Rodriguez advancing to second.
Conrad first advances to the second.
Let's go, Jackson!
So Josiah Rodriguez standing on second. Bino Gonzalez on third base. And now coming up to the plate is the center fielder, number 22, Jackson Cross.
Got it, Jackson!
Second and third.
Come on, Jackson!
First pitch to Cross. Cross hits it. Fielded by Rodriguez. Fires it home. And Gonzalez is thrown out at home to end the inning. As we head to the top of the second, Dejenes 3, Lasara 0. You're watching Dejenes Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back.
Three.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. On the mound, the Easton King. Behind the plate, Joe Ruiz. At third base, Case Braden. Shortstop, Kate Henry. Second base, Josiah Rodriguez. First base, Brent Frosch. And in the outfield from left to right, Aaron Chapman, Jackson Cross, and Ethan Moots.
Leading off for Lasara. Number 11, Abraham Castillo, the center, the catcher.
And leading the inning off for the Lions is the catcher, number 11, Abraham Castillo. First pitch to Castillo is in there for strike one. So no balls and one strike on Castillo. The pitch from King. Outside for ball one, so 1-1 to count. The pitch from King. In there for strike two. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Castillo. And they're going to say that pitch just missed for ball two. So 2-2 the count.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Castillo.
The 2-2 pitch. In there for a call, strike three.
Struck him out.
And out number one.
Brings up number 14, John.
And up next is the pitcher, number 14, Giancarlo Rodriguez. The pitch in there for strike one. So no balls and 1 strike on Rodriguez. Rodriguez swings and fouls that one out of play. Brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes.
pitch. Rodriguez hits it. Fielded by Braden at third. Fires it over to first to Frosch for out number 2.
Breakup number 9. Manu.
And up next is the first baseman, number 9, Matthew Tamez. First pitch. They're going to check to see if he went. They're going to say he did not. So 1 ball, no strikes on the batter.
Check swing and did not go. Ball 1.
Ball 2. So 2 balls, no strikes on Tamez. Pitch is inside for ball 3.
3-0.
So 3 balls and no strikes on the batter. Pitch is low for ball 4. So Tamez will draw the walk. And up next is the designated hitter, number 17, Joaquin Hernandez.
Breakup number 7. A correction. You got the DH number 17, Joaquin Hernandez.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Hernandez. Tamez on first. The pitch low for ball 2.
Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
And Hernandez sends a shot to center field, fielded by Cross, and he's going to fire it in to Rodriguez. It's going to be a single for Joaquin Hernandez. And up next is the left fielder, number 12, Victor Villarreal.
Let's go. 1 more defense.
Breakup number 12. Villarreal, the left fielder.
In there for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Villarreal. Pitch is low for ball 1, so 1-1 the count.
1 strike. Runners on first and second. 2 outs.
Swing and a miss for strike 2.
Swing and a miss.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter. Pitch is outside, so deuces across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Cowboys lead 3-0. Victor Villarreal at the plate. The pitch. Sweet a miss for strike 3. As the Lions leave 2 runners on base. And the Cowboys lead 3-0. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Remaining on the mound for the Lions, Giancarlo Rodriguez, Abraham Castillo behind the plate, Alex Valles at third base, shortstop Marco Ornelas, second base Roland Guerra, first base Matthew Tamez, and in the outfield from left to right, Victor Vidal, Jason Mendo, and Aiden Rodriguez. And at the plate for the Cowboys is the right fielder, number 10, Ethan Moots. First pitch is in there for strike one. So one strike on Moots. Moots chops it down the third base line underneath the glove of the third baseman. And Moots will reach with the single. And now we're back to the top of the lineup with the shortstop, number 21, Cade Hendry. Henry fake the bunt attempt, and they're going to call that a strike on Moots' steal to second. So no balls and one strike on Henry. Henry swings and fouls it into the fence. So no balls and two strikes on Henry. Pitch. Henry hits it up the middle. Fielded by Ornelas at shortstop. Fires it over to first to Tamez for out number one. And Moots will advance to third on the hit. And up next is the pitcher, number 32, Easton King.
Brings up number 32, King, the pitcher. One out. Runner on third.
First pitch, King swings and fouls that one out of play. So no balls and one strike on King. And a shot to the second baseman, Roland Guerra, who makes the catch for out number two. And up next is the first baseman, number 9, Brent Frosch, with Moots on third.
Brings up number 9, Frost, the first baseman, with 2 outs and a runner on third.
First pitch is high for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes on Frosch. Frost sends a shot to right field. And Moots will come in and score. Ball makes its way to the wall. Frosch making his way to third. And it'll be an RBI triple for Brent Frosch. And the Cowboys now lead 4-0. And up next is the left fielder, number 18, Aaron Chapman.
Brings up number 18, Chapman, your left fielder.
Chapman hits it to center field and off the glove of Mendel. And Frosch will come in and score, and Chapman making his way towards third. And Chapman will be standing on third. And up next is the third baseman, number 7, Case Braden.
Brings up number 7, K. Brady, your third baseman, with 2 outs, runner on third.
Braden swings and fouls that one out of play.
Foul ball.
So no balls and one strike on Braden. Braden hits it. Fielded by Ornelas at shortstop, fires it over to first. And they're going to say they got him out in time. As we head to the top of the third, the Hennis 5, Lasara 0. Welcome back. Top of the third, Cowboys 5, Lasara 0. As we are now under a severe thunderstorm watch. And there's a couple of drops, but if it begins to pour, we may have to cut off the game. So let's hope that the rain stays away. And leading off is the second baseman, number 5, Roland Guerra.
Ball 1 on his first pitch.
The pitch from King, low for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Guerra.
Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Pitch is in there for strike 1. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Guerra. Just a bit high for ball 3. So 3-1 to count. The pitch from King just missed outside for ball 4. So Guerra will draw the walk, and now we're back to the top of the lineup with the center fielder number 8, Jason Mendel.
With a runner on first.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Mendel. Mendel swings and pops it up to right field. And Ethan Moots camps right under it to make the catch for out number 1. And up next is the shortstop, number 13, Marco Ornelas.
1 out. Runner on first.
pitch is hit down the left field line, and it's going to go just foul. So no balls and 1 strike on Ornelas. And King's pickoff attempt, not in time, as Guerra is safe at first. So no balls and 1 strike on Ornelas. Swing and a miss. Ruiz fires it down to second, and Rodriguez applies the tag for out number 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Ornelas with 2 outs. As Guerra was caught stealing. The pitch hit down the left field line, foul. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Pitch is in there for a call, strike 3. And out number 3. Cowboys lead 5-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Leading the inning off for the Cowboys is the catcher, number 1, Joe Ruiz, with Giancarlo Rodriguez on the mound for the Lions. Abraham Castillo behind the plate, Alex Valles, Marco Ornelas, Roland Guerra, and Matthew Thomas in the infield for the Lions. The outfield from left to right, Villarreal, Mendo, and Rodriguez. First pitch is in there for strike 1. So 1 strike on Ruiz. In there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And Ruiz smacks it to center field over the head of the center fielder. Ruiz heading to second. And he's going to get tripped up by the turf monster. And he's going to get held up at second. And up next is the second baseman, number 2, Josiah Rodriguez. As number 12, Bino Gonzalez will courtesy run for Ruiz at second. So Bino Gonzalez on second. Josiah Rodriguez at the plate.
Bring up number 2, Jay Rodriguez.
First pitch from Rodriguez is low for ball 1.
Ball 1.
So 1 ball and no strikes on Josiah Rodriguez with Bino Gonzalez on second. Pitch is low and outside for ball 2.
Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes.
Outside for ball 3.
Ball 3.
So 3-0 the count
3 balls.
on Rodriguez.
Runner in second.
Inside for ball 4, so Rodriguez would draw the walk. And up next is the center fielder, number 22, Jackson Cross. With Gonzalez on second, Rodriguez on first, and Jackson Cross at the plate. First pitch is in there for strike 1.
Strike 1.
And Cross swings and pops it up in the infield. And it is caught off the glove into his hand by the pitcher, John Carlos Rodriguez, for out number 1. And up next is the right fielder, number 10, Ethan Moots. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Moots sends a shot, caught by the shortstop, Marco Ornelas, and turns a double play as he fires it over to second. As we head to the top of the 4th, Cowboys lead Lasara 5-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As the umpires are speaking with the coaches and talking about the upcoming weather, as it looks like it's coming towards us. So we start the top of the 4th with a third baseman, number 10, Alex Valles, leading the inning off for the Lions. Easton King remains on the mound for the Cowboys.
For Lasara, number 10, Alex Valles. Third baseman.
First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Pitch is in there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes on Valles. Pitch is high for ball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes The pitch from King. Swung and fouled back into the fence. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes on the batter. Pitch is high for ball 2, so 2-2 the count
2 balls, 2 strikes.
on Alex Valles. Valles swings and fouls that one out of play. 2-2 the count. The 2-2 pitch. In there for a call. Strike 3 and out number 1.
Out number 1. Brings up number 11.
And up next is the catcher, number 11, Abraham Castillo. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike on Castillo. Castillo swings and fouls that one back into the fence. So no balls and 2 strikes.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch is high for ball 1.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On Castillo.
Pitch is low.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch is in there for a call. Strike 3 and out number 2.
For out number 2.
And up next is the pitcher, number 14, Giancarlo Rodriguez.
Brings up number 14. Giancarlo Rodriguez.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Rodriguez. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1-1 the count.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Ball is low on the turf for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike
2 balls and a strike.
on the batter. The pitch. Rodriguez hits it. Fielded by Rodriguez at second. Fires over to Frosch for out number 3. The Hennis leads 5-0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the fourth, Cowboys lead Lasara 5-0. And leading the inning off for the Cowboys will be the shortstop, number 21, Cade Hendry, with Giancarlo Rodriguez on the mound for Lasara. First pitch, Hendry, bunt attempt, and it's going to go foul. So no balls and one strike on Hendry. Pitch is, as Hendry was hit by the pitch, and Henry will now advance to first. And up next is a pitcher, number 32, Easton King, with Henry now on first. Henry with the good size lead. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike one. So no balls and one strike on King. Henry still second. And the swing and a miss on King, so no balls and two strikes on the batter. Once again, Henry on second. Henry's still third, and he's going to have to head back as that pitch by King was hit out of play. So foul ball, no balls and two strikes on King with Henry on second. And the shot up the middle by King off the glove of the second baseman. And Hendry will come in and score the RBI single by Easton King. And up next is the first baseman, number 9, Brent Frosch. As number 11, Cannon Zachary checks in the courtesy run for King on first base. Zachary with a good sized lead on first, as Rodriguez checks the runner. Well, Brent Frosch at the plate. Zachary makes his way towards second, and he's going to be safe on the steal. So 1 ball, no strikes on Frosch. And Frosch swings and pops it up down the left field line. And it is caught by the shortstop, Marco Ornelas, for out number 1. And up next is the left fielder, number 18, Aaron Chapman. So Zachary on second. Rodriguez pickoff attempt. Ball makes its way to center field, and Zachary will be safe at third. So 1 out. Cannon Zachary on third. Aaron Chapman at the plate. First pitch is outside and low for ball 1. Chapman swings and fouls that one into the Cowboy dugout. It's going to ring up 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Runner on third. And Chapman swings low, and the ball gets by the shortstop as the ball makes its way to left field. And it's going to be an RBI single for Aaron Chapman. And up next is the third baseman, number 7, Case Braden.
Brings up number 7, Kay Braden, third baseman, with a runner on first. 1 out.
First pitch is in there for strike 1. So 1 strike on Braden. Chapman on first. Braden swings and pops it up in the infield. And the catch is made by the third baseman, Alex Valles, for out number 2. And up next is the catcher, number 1, Joe Ruiz.
Brings up number 1, Jay Ruiz, the catcher, with 2 outs. Runner on first.
First pitch is low for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on Ruiz. Ruiz chops it up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop. Fires it over to first. In time for out number 3 as we head to the top of the 5th. Cowboys 7, Lasara 0. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Cowboys leading here in the top of the 5th, 7-0. And leading the inning off for the Lions is the first baseman, number 9, Matthew Tamez.
Leading off for Lasara.
First pitch from King is low for ball 1.
Ball 1.
Swing and a miss for strike 1, so 1-1 the count on Tamez. Pitch is in there for strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swing and miss for strike 3 and out number 1. And up next is the designated hitter number 17, Joaquin Hernandez.
The DH, Joaquin Hernandez.
First pitch is in there for strike 1. So 1 strike on Hernandez. Pitch is high for ball 1. So 1-1 to count with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The pitch swung and fouled out of play. So 1 ball and 2 strikes on Hernandez. Curveball just missed high for ball 2.
Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Ball is foul ball. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hernandez. The 2-2 pitch. And they're going to say that he went. It's going to be a call of strike 3 and out number 2. And up next is the left fielder, number 12, Victor Villarreal. First pitch is in there for strike 1. Ball is low, so 1-1 to count. Villarreal. In there for strike 2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And out number 3. The Hennis 7, Lasara 0. You're watching the Hennis Cowboy Baseball. We'll be right back. New pitcher on the mound for the Lions is number 10, Alex Valles. And leading the inning off for the Cowboys is the second baseman, number 2, Josiah Rodriguez. First pitch coming up from Valles. Gets by the catcher for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes on Josiah Rodriguez. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Rodriguez. That pitch is inside for ball 2.
Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Way inside for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike on Rodriguez. Once again, new pitcher on the mound, number 10, Alex Valles. In there for strike 2, full count.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Rodriguez swings and pops it up to center field. He's going to drop in. It's going to be a single for Josiah Rodriguez. And up next is the center fielder, number 22, Jackson Cross.
Bring up number 22, Jake Cross, your center fielder with a runner on first.
Rodriguez steals second. So 1 ball and no strikes on Cross, with Rodriguez now on second. Cross hits it down the third base line. It's going to go foul.
Third base side, foul ball.
So it's going to bring the count to 1-1. On Jackson Cross with Josiah Rodriguez on second. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Ball outside for ball 2. Ball is overthrown, so Rodriguez will advance to third.
Two balls and a strike. Runner on third.
Go, Jackson, you got it!
Pitch is outside for ball 3.
Ball 3.
So 3 balls and 1 strike on Cross, with Rodriguez on third. Pitch gets by the catcher, and Rodriguez will come in and score. And Cross will advance to first on the walk.
Bring up number 10,
As that ball hit our camera. And up next is the right fielder, number 10, Ethan Moots. With Cross on first. Pitch gets by the catcher. Cross will advance to second on the pass ball. So 1 ball, no strikes on Moots. Pitch is outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Moots with Cross on second. Moots hits it. Fielded by Guerra at second. Fires it over to first for out number 1. And Cross will advance to third. And now we're back to the top of the lineup with the shortstop, number 21, Cade Hendry. Ball gets by the catcher. And Jackson Cross will come in and score. So 1 ball and no strikes on Hendry. With 1 out. Second pitch is high and outside for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes on Hendry. And Hendry will get hit by the pitch. And Hendry is now on first with the pitcher, number 32, Easton King, now at the plate. And now we're going to have another pitching change, as the shortstop, number 13, Marco Ornelas, will come in to pitch while he warms up. We're going to silence the sound.
Baez is the pitcher. Marco Ornelas, 13, pitcher for Lasara.
Now at the plate is the pitcher, number 32, Easton King. So Hendry on first, Easton King at the plate. Hendry steals second. So 1 ball, no strikes on King. Pitch gets by the catcher, and Hendry will advance to third. So it'll be 2 balls and no strikes on King. Ball is inside, and King will get hit by the pitch. So runners now in the corners for the Cowboys with 1 out. And up next is the first baseman, number 9, Brent Frosch. And checking in the courtesy run now on first base is number 8, Cannon Sandell for Easton King. So Sandell on first, Hendry on third, and Brent Frosch at the plate with one out. First pitch is low and outside for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes on Frosch.
Ball one.
Frosch sends it deep to center field. And it's finding the gap. And Hendry will come in and score. And that will be the ball game. As the Cowboys will win game number 1, 10-0 over the Lasara Lions. And we'll be back for game number 2 in about 20 to 30 minutes. So once again, Cowboys win game 1, 10-0.